evening and welcome. Every citizen of India must read about the observations of the Supreme Court in the Maharashtra case today. The way the Supreme Court has pulled up the ruling dispensation in Maharashtra is exemplary and necessary. For the last year and a half, the way the Maharashtra government has functioned in so many cases has given a distinct feeling that this coalition in Maharashtra believes it is above the law and beyond the law, breaking houses of its critics, arresting whoever it wants at will, misusing the police openly, often turning it into a private army, registering false and concocted cases against anyone who questions them, and using every tactic, from open threats to bullying to the misuse of the law. And all this, ladies and gentlemen, despite being pulled by the Supreme Court in the past as well. I haven't spoken about it much, but in the case of my arrest, for instance, as well, the Supreme Court, in a historic judgment of Justice Chandrachud and Justice Indira Banerjee, had clearly said that what was the arrest about? There was no prima facie case at all to even detain, leave alone arrest. But you know what they did. The Supreme Court in that case had warned about, and I quote, the weaponization of the criminal justice system. What more can the court say? The most unfortunate thing is that all of this had fallen on deaf ears. And not just the government. The ruling dispensation has also used the Maharashtra Assembly to push through some of the bizarre decisions, most bizarre decisions and bizarre resolutions. Ladies and gentlemen, in my view, a state assembly in any state represents the will of the people. It is meant to be used for the welfare and the benefit of the people, not to score or carry out short-term political stunts, whether it is by displaying power by summoning citizens or fixing members of the opposition to maintain your tenuous hold on to power. In this context, the decision a year back to suspend 12 members of the BJP on grounds of bad behavior, the decision was frightful. I couldn't believe it. It was both reflective of the arbitrariness that bordered on the contempt of the law and for the law. Let me quote to you, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you all research it and find out what the Supreme Court said today, while completely striking down the suspension of the BJP MLAs. It said, "We have no hesitation in concluding that the impugned resolution suffers from the vice of being unconstitutional, grossly illegal, and irrational to the extent of period of suspension beyond the remainder of the concerned session." Look at the words, ladies and gentlemen, on your screen. Unconstitutional, grossly illegal, and irrational. I ask tonight, how many more unconstitutionalities, illegalities, and irrationalities will the people have to suffer? The court said, and I quote, "It is not a case of merely procedural irregularity committed by the legislature within the meaning of Article 212(1) of the Constitution." Unquote. I think unsolicited advice. I think it is time for the government in Maharashtra, the MVA government, to calmly and in a mature way start introspecting on its functioning in the last year and a half. Some say the Supreme Court verdict will affect political events in Mumbai. For me, all I can say is that I just hope, even now, it has a sobering impact on the government and the political establishment, whose recklessness, and I underline the word recklessness, is under watch by the people And of course, this is clear today by the country's highest court.